Hello, welcome to incoxBot demo. In this video, we'll look at how legal firm can automate their business processes using incoxBot. As you can see in this picture, this legal firm uses multiple applications like Zoho CRM for managing their leads and potentials, and they also use Zoho Books for managing their accounting processes like estimate generation or quote generation and managing all their invoices. They also use Sign for their document signing processes, and they use Zoho campaigns to manage any communications to all their clients. And finally, they also use Zoho Desk to manage any issues and resolution processes. So with that, we'll jump into the demo now. What we'll see is we'll walk through all these process end to end using incoxBot, which is basically in Cliq extension. And once you get installed, and it is available as a bot within Cliq. As you can see, I've already installed the extension and I have configured all the applications that's needed for this process. Like as you can see here, Zoho Books, Zoho Campaign, Zoho Desk, Zoho CRM, and I also have Zoho Sign in another window. So with that, let me start with creating a lead and converting that lead as a first step. So to begin working with any application, I can either type the actual application name in this window here, which will bring all the relevant modules and activities they can do within the modules as a clickable buttons. So in this case, since I'm going to work with leads, I'm going to click on leads and click on create lead. Here we'll type in all the necessary details. Let's say it's Ken Adams.com, D2G Industries, lead from trade legal conference. Let's say we got this lead from a legal conference. So as you can see, the lead has been created. We also see a link. Clicking on this link will take us into the Zoho CRM application itself, where you can either edit for more details or review and check if you need to do. So there is another option within the bot where as part of any action, a subsequent suggestion is given for a next possible action. So in this case, this lead is added. It prompts me whether I want to add this as a subscriber into the campaign list, and also if I want to see the lead details by name. So since we are also using Zoho campaign, I can click on add subscribers here, where I will be shown a list of mailing lists that's available. So since I use Zoho campaign and we generally send some information to all our clients in a newsletter, I'm going to add them into this emailing list called latest in legal newsletter. Alright, that's done. And let's get back to the leads and managing that lead process. Let's say after a few calls and subsequent discussions with the lead, we got them as a client for us. So we are going to convert this lead as a potential in CRM. So for that, I click on convert lead button, and I would be able to see that lead here. And this is the potential revenue that we expect from them as part of this deal. I'm going to I can either manage the lead process, moving this lead across multiple stages, but for now I'm going to mark this as a finished or completed deal by saying as a closed and won. So I'm going to put today's date as a closing date. Alright, so with this we just created a lead and also converted the lead as a deal in Zoho CRM, all using this incoxBot. So the next step I want to show you is we'll use Zoho Books to send an estimate for one of the services that they have asked for. So I'm going to generate an estimate and send it to the client. So I do that by either typing in Zoho Books, or I can also say I want to create an estimate. where I would see only the relevant buttons that is needed for doing this activity, which is estimates in this case. So once I click on estimates, I see options to create estimates, convert estimate to invoice, and also see a list of recent estimates that we created. So I'm going to click on create estimate here. So I'm going to type in Ken Adams. So the contact has moved from CRM to books based on the auto sync that is available within the product itself. Once you establish the integration between CRM and books, all the contacts gets moved between these two products. So I didn't do anything special, so I have this lead information in books as well. So I selected that, and I'm going to select from the list of services that we want to offer to this client. In this case, let's say he wanted to prepare a legal contract, so I'm going to select this, and it's the count is one document, so I'm going to click one here and click submit. And once I click submit, as you can see, it gives me a link with the particular quote. Clicking on it, which will take to Zoho Books and show me the estimate here. As you can see here, this estimate is for Ken Adams and the legal contract preparation service, and the amount that we chose as part of the service that we selected. So once that's done, let's say he's happy with the quote and he wants us to raise an invoice and get started. So I'm going to click on convert estimate to invoice, and I see the name of the client as well as estimate ID, so I'm going to select this. And once again, I see a link to the invoice that gets created in Zoho Books. So what we'll also do next is we'll record some initial deposit that the customer gave for performing the service, and we'll also use the same bot to capture that information here. Once again, it's the client and the amount and the service is shown here, and this is the invoice that got generated. Now I'm going to record payments in Zoho Books. So I type in Zoho Books here and select payments. I want to record payment here, so I'm going to Ken Adams. Let's say that's for 7,500 rupees. Say paid by cash, and maybe 2,500 was the initial. Fine. All right. So the deposit has been made, and it's also updated in Zoho Books, and we have a notification about the successful recording of the payment with the link as well. So what I'm going to do next is, let's say we got the service and we have the legal contract that the customer wanted has been created, and we need to send it to him for signature and to him as well as other parties. So I know my colleague is working on this document, so I'm going to check with him on what the document is that I need to send, and then I will use Zoho Signs interactions to initiate a signature request from the client. So I'm going to check with my colleague and who is available on another chat channel here. Tell me what is the document name that we need to send for D2G. Alright, I think it's looking up, and once he gets that information, what I will do next is use Zoho Sign to alright, looks like that's the one. Thanks. Alright, that's there. So now I'm going to switch to a different window. It's the same Cliq, but this is under a different account where I have access to Zoho Sign. So I'm going to see if this document has been created and is available for sending for signature. So I can do this, list documents by name, and look up, I think this is what he told, D2G legal contract and today's date. So I can look up information like this, where it shows me the name and the current status and the recipient name with no signature, and also the created date. So since I have confirmed that's the document that we need to send, I'm going to click on send document here and select this document that needs to be sent to the client, and submit this. Alright, once it's sent, again I have a link to the document which will take me to the app itself, and then I can also see the status of the document. This shows me a list of all the documents here. In this case, this has moved from draft to in progress, indicating that it has been sent to the client. So what we have seen so far is we created a lead, converted the lead, and then we created an estimate, sent to the customer, and also converted the estimate as an invoice, recorded some initial payments. We also did some work with the Zoho Sign. So next what I will do is we will send some or do some activities with Zoho Campaign. Since we already added this particular client in our newsletter, maybe we need to send some a mass campaign, and so I want to initiate that process here. I'm going to do that by typing in the product name Zoho Campaign here, and I see that I can work with campaigns or subscribers. Let's see, let me first show about subscribers here, and I want to make sure that the email is successfully added. Alright, that's Ken Adams, and he's in that newsletter already. So we let's say we need to send a campaign to all our clients. This is about a recent policy change from a government update that we received. So we have prepared a campaign in Zoho Campaigns, and we are going to send this to all our clients, including this new client who just got it added into the mailing list. So I'm going to initiate that by doing send campaign in here, and this will show me all the list of campaigns that are available to be sent, and this is the one that we have prepared as a campaign that we wanted to send to all our clients. So it's about copyright policy changes, and it's already reviewed and ready to be sent here. So I'm going to submit. This has initiated the send activity or send action from Zoho Campaign, and the campaign is out to all our users or members of this mailing list. Lastly, we'll also see some information about how we can access Zoho Desk to handle issues and complaints from our clients and resolution activities within Zoho Desk. So let's say, going with the same scenarios here, the client D2G Industries has called in us and asked for help regarding an access issue they have with our portal. So I'm going to open a ticket to our support team for this. So I clicked in, typed in Zoho Desk, and I clicked in Zoho, tickets, and then I'm going to create a ticket here. So this is department ID, and the subject is D2G client doesn't have access to our portal. Please help. And this is for our Ken Adams client. I'm going to say it medium priority, and I'm also going to assign it to one of the agents there. So I'm going to click submit. So this again will generate the ticket and also give me a link. So let's say I'm taking the role of the support person, and I am working on that issue after seeing this ticket, and I'm ready to update the ticket with the status saying it's closed, and we can notify the customer. So I click on update ticket, and I see the ticket ID that's listed here with the subject appended there, and I'm going to just change the status to closed. And that's it. We have also successfully closed the ticket that was raised. So just to wrap up and summarize, what we saw in this demo is using incoxBot, we saw how we could work with Zoho CRM to create a lead, convert lead, and all such activities. And then we also generated a quote and sent it to the customer and converted the estimate to invoice. We also did some payment recording, and then we also used Zoho Sign to view the documents that's available for signature, and then sent the document for signature. And then we also used campaign to add that particular user into our subscription list, and we also sent a campaign email to all our users in that subscription list. Finally, we also saw how we can use this bot to work with Zoho Desk to create a ticket and work with the resolution or mark the ticket as closed after the issue is resolved. I hope this helps, and if you have any question about the product or about this particular process, feel free to reach us at contact@incox.net. Thank you.